Hey guys, Ryan from Mana Bluff here, jumping into my very first M15 Swiss. Let's try to get some of these settings up so we can see cards a little bit nicer. Here, cool. So, slamming the Goblin Rabblemaster. Right, initial impressions are that red's going to be very good. We'll see. It's also coming off of Brian Wong's evaluation from limited resources. And I think the Rabblemaster is going to be a really cool, sweet red card. Ulcerate would probably be the next card that I grab. I'm going to have to adjust some settings here with all these little text boxes surfacing up. Anyway, I know we're all still learning the cards right now, but I don't have time to read all of them. But I am catching the Ulcerate, Elvish Mystic I like in green. The Marauder I would be fine if it tabled in red. Yeah, I'm happy just to go ahead and grab the Rabblemaster and see where we go from there. Nothing striking in red jumping out at me. We have the 6-drop, which is fine, but it's a 6-drop. Rough Rider's a fine 3-drop, but more of a filler 3-drop. What other powerful cards do we have here? Living Tone of Battlefield, target creature. That's okay. Don't care about that. The Meditation Puzzle just gains a bunch of life. Sign of Blood's good. Scavenger. Another just kind of dorky 4. Golem's like actually okay. I mean, I would take the Rough Rider over it. I think Hunter's Ambush is going to be pretty okay in green. I don't want to move into green on it. I'd rather just stay red, see what we keep getting. Glacial Crasher, I mean, it goes with our first pick, but who cares? Whenever you attack with 2 more creatures, draw a card. That's kind of cool. I think it could be fun to build around. But yeah, overall, it seems like a pretty weak second pack. So I'm just going to stay red, grab a 3-drop. I'm happy to have it. It's a Goblin. That kind of goes with Goblin Rabblemaster, depending on how you look at it. And I did this last time. I can't remember. I'm like paranoid now of right-clicking to gain things as my like selected card. Oh, hello. What's happening? I want to draft. There we are. So Paragon's pretty good. Happy to grab it since we're already in red. And then Hot Soup is playable? Maybe? Unblockable? Not so much. Reclamation Sage seems fine, but a filler for green. Same with Child of Night. And Crust is very good. That's probably a tad bit better than the red Paragon. But again, like if I'm building a base red deck, I'm happy to get the Paragon, so I'm very okay with that. I'm also paying attention to this Evolving Wild, which I think is going to be really good in the format, especially with the off-color uncommon cycle. The one where like it's kind of like a gold card, but not really. All those cards. I'll point them out when we get there, which we're in the mood for it all. I'm also noticing Swiftclaw. Those are like decent white cards, but mostly in Crust is kind of like the key guy. That's another blue card that we have seen going around. Aggressive Mining, I don't think is a card that I'm comfortable this early in the format dealing with. If I wasn't recording, it might be fun to try to see if it's good. There's like a finisher and aggressive deck, which we're kind of starting to build. But besides that, I'm not really digging it. Mostly I'm seeing this Ulcerate, which is just insane, and I'm happy to snatch up here. Let me double check and see what the Kite Fins do. Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. Alright, so that's kind of okay. Definitely would be fine getting into blue for it. Another Evolving Wilds. Hammerhead would maybe be played in another deck. Yeah, so this is kind of like a first interesting pick. I'm taking Ulcerate just because it's a great premium combat trick. But it's the first kind of black that we've seen open. I guess there was a Child of Night. We saw more blue within Crust, and I forget what the other blue card that I was kind of noticing was there. But I just think Ulcerate's too insane. Alright, happy to take the Broodkeeper, I think. Hunt the Week is a little bit more fun in terms of if I go into green, it'd be nice to have like a decent combat or a decent card in green. I was considering the Battlefield Forge just because it's a nice dual land. It can help splash if I get something that I care about. And the Broodkeeper, like there's a lot of actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go take the land. It could allow us to splash like a Pillar of Light later or just move into white. The 5-drop is also okay. The Broodkeeper can be good, but I'm not really looking to do a whole lot of auras. And already we've lost out on one pack of good auras. There's a Hammerhead, which kind of sucked, but really it's that Flame Fist, right? That's the one aura you want to be playing. So I don't think I'm missing out a whole lot by passing along the dorky 4-drops in red. Alright. Roaring Primodox is actually okay. Nimbus of the Isles is pretty good. In red, like we have a playable card with Forge Devil, but not really insane. you might just want to take a Bronze Sable instead. Probably not. Tyrant's Machine, I think, can be okay, but we're not really looking to go there. I think I am going to start taking some blue cards here. We saw that blue was fairly open, so being red, blue is fine, and we haven't seen a lot of the premium red anymore. We picked up a couple red cards, but this Rough Rider was kind of in a weak pack, and the Paragon's like good, but not insane. Yeah, I'm not exactly stoked for where I'm at, but I'm okay with it. Yay, I did the selection, got it. Okay, a little bit more interesting things here. Coral Barrier, I think, is going to be like a really good 3-drop in blue. It's honestly what my deck wants right now, and I think I'd rather just take the really expensive removal spell. Yes, it costs 6, but I mean, it's something that kills any creature at 6. And then I'm looking to pick up a Miner's Bane or something like that eventually, right around these areas of the packs. But we already have one that's probably, or might even table, and or just in the next few packs we'll be able to get those. So staying on the red plan still, just to stay open, but wouldn't mind taking Coral Barrier if I had, if I knew that I was in blue at that point. Dragon creatures you control get +3/+3. That's always fun, but we're not going to go for it. Statue of the Nile, don't care about. Leeching Sliver, don't care about. Picture creature, and this is just a really big expensive thing in blue. The Chrono Star I think could be okay. But say I don't know I'm blue, I think I'm fine just taking... Oh wait, there's a Necromancer's Assistance. So how good is Forge Devil in this part? I think it's going to be pretty good. There's so many 1 toughness dudes, but I also think I'll be able to get the Forge Devils okay. And since I actually do want to play Ulcerate, I'm actually going to be okay taking the Necromancer's Assistant, because I do kind of want to hedge toward black if possible. Alright, a nice little win condition here. But I think we're just going to take a solid 2-drop. I don't have any 2s. I wouldn't mind a Caustic Tar. But I think a nice 2 in the color I know I am is better than, even though this is a good win condition, it's in a color I don't know I'm playing. And we're not doing the artifact thing, so Darksteel Citadel means nothing. And I don't think Radiant Fountain matters. If I end up getting to be super mono red and this does nothing, I'll take the Sentinel 2 life. But if I'm doing any 2-color deck, I'm pretty sure I don't ever want it. There's that Bane coming back around, which I do want over the Glacial Crasher. I even think it's better than Glacial Crasher, even if I am in red. Just I know the stats are a little bit lower on the toughness, but I want to be aggressive. There's Military Intelligence again. Wow, Encrust still there, so I'm going to grab Encrust over the Denizen or the Hot Soup. I think Denizen sucks, unless you're the most aggressive deck, which I haven't even started yet. Gets a little bit better with the Paragon, I guess. But Encrust is really good. We saw that blue was fairly open. It looks like it's really open. So even though I'm bummed about not really having a lot of great black, like, I'm very okay with this. We'll take another 2-drop here. Doesn't mean you want to be like someone on the aggressive side, because otherwise the Burlington Marauder is really bad. But I'd rather have like a decent 2 than the Hammerhead. Yeah, for sure. Lava Axe might make it. Probably. There's a Hammerhand. Cool. So we can splash, something white if we want, or move into white. I don't think that's the case. Mostly, I'm thinking blue is going to be the route to go. This Encrust tabling is kind of insane, and we saw it pretty well open in general. Alright, so Lightning Strike is the slam go-to, but there's a lot of... This is a way better pack than what we had opened before, and there's a lot of just randomly awesome cards. I think Yisin is really fun. I don't think it's probably about on... I mean, I think it is on par with Lightning Strike, and therefore not worth going into green for. I would actually take Ancient Silverback, I think, over Yisin. Yisin's a great utility card, and you can do some really fun things, but Silverback, man, that's such a good 6-drop. But again, we have a premium removal spell, burn spell here in red. I want it. I'm going to take it. The Pride Mate's fine in white. It's not splashable in white, so I don't care. And then almost all of these cards are playable, right? I don't know if Vine Wept is going to be. It could be, with its return from the graveyard into your hand. I guess Invisibility isn't really. What does Invasive Species do? When Invasive Species enters the battlefield, return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. And it's a 3/3 for 3. That's actually really good. Just because of the base stats. That's cool. So a lot of good green cards. But again, we're just grabbing our Lightning Strike and being happy with it. Probably going to take another one here. Hushwing Griff seems okay, but I don't need to move into red when there's another Lightning Strike. Flesh to Dusk is nice. Not going to come back around, but whatever. What's Might Make Rights? I don't remember. At the beginning of combat on your turn if you control the greatest power. Oh, it's a win more card. And a huge do nothing 6, so we're not that stoked on it. Anything blue? Maybe the Coral Barrier will come back? I'm not too sure I want it back. This isn't necessarily a deck shaping up. I mean, magically if Flesh to Dust came back, I'd be happy with that, but that's never going to happen. No, I'm just happy. 2 Lightning Strikes in the first 2 packs. I'm pretty A-okay there. Alright. Nightfire Giant's just an insane. I mean, I consider this like better than most rare, so I'm going to grab this. It means I'm ditching blue, even though blue's going to be more open in the 3rd pack. Don't care. The Aeronaut Tinker, we don't have any artifacts to turn on yet, so it's just a 2-3 if we were to stay blue. I mean, I'm not really considering it. Like I said, I'm going black. I'm just kind of evaluating the cards while I have the opportunity here. Gosh, how do I turn off this like notification? Sorry guys, we'll have to wait in between videos for me to figure that guy out for us. Cursed Spirit, when am I coming back? Black Cat, I guess I'd play. I already have like 2 dorky 2-drops, and I do want to stay a little bit more on the heavy red side because of this Paragon. Not going to force it, but it'd be nice to have this be super valuable if all my good creatures are red. I want to make sure I actually pick the card I want. Do I splash Sanctified Charge? It's an option. It's definitely, I think, worth splashing. Oh, wait, only the white creatures get first strike. Maybe not. I'm not too sure about that then. Never mind. I mean, I have a pick here with another 3-drop. Elvish Mystic is, I think, the best card in the pack. There's no blue here, so I'm fine with that. What does this Nissa's Expedition do? Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards with them on the battlefield. Oh, okay, so classic green stuff going on. The Active Impulse, couldn't care less about. I think at 3 mana, it's going to be a little too expensive, especially at sorcery speed, that you're not going to get a whole lot of great value out of it. I could be wrong there. Clear Path, we saw one earlier. I'll probably grab one for the sideboard later. I already have a Lava Axe for our side, which actually we can kind of start doing. Yeah, I can't imagine me giving up the Nightfire Giant and Ulcerate just for an Encrust and a Nimbus of the Niles, but just a thought there. Not really gonna have an artifact, but that's a fine 4-drop. But let me see what this Endless Obedience does. Pretty sure from here on the battlefield under your control. Don't want to do that at 6 and what my deck's trying to do, I don't think. Pillar of Light we could splash, but I think more on the sideboard I'd pick it up for the splash. And I could just take this 5-drop with the Vampire, but I'd rather have, I think, just a solid, what is that, Grey Ogre? Is that what it's called? It's a little bit low on the curve. It's red to go with the Fierce Defiance, or with the Paragon of Fierce Defiance. And I think you tend to get gluttoned up at 5 anyway. We still have a whole other pack to go. Ooh, Curd Chieftain. So I'm kind of interested in Curd Chieftain to splash for a forest. It means I might want to pick up like an Evolving Wilds, but these things are just so good. I already picked up, a 3/3 for 4, so I don't mind having this. Do I have something that makes the Obelisk good? So I've got a Human Warrior. Why do I have a Sungrace Pegasus? What did I pick? Oh, shoot. Did I miss something? I did not want a Pegasus. Maybe that was earlier I didn't pay attention? Shoot. Wasn't the assistant? Was I supposed to have a second assistant? I don't even know, so I have to go back. Typhoid Rats. I think I'm going to take the Curd Chieftain and maybe try to splash the green. Just a heads up. I only have 2 goblins that really matter right now, so not a big deal. As I pick up another goblin, yeah, definitely taking Enforcer. It's a good 3-drop. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go base red, try to splash green for the Curd Chieftain. These guys are actually this entire cycle, the off-color cycle, are really good for splashing because you just need that 1 forest. And then just 1 activation tend to be all you need with it. So I'm happy to do that here. Don't need another Hammer Hand. Glad we got out of blue. Black and blue seem to be drafted around me pretty okay. I'm liking that we're in red also. That's pretty nice. Blood Host, Typhoid Rats. I'm thinking we just want a 2-drop. I don't think I want the Belligerent Sliver. I don't think it's that insane. We have fine 3s. I think the 2 is just going to be good enough just to fill out like a nice curve. Blood Host seems pretty awesome also. And actually would be kind of, I guess, the 5 slot that I'd want. but at double black might be a little bit strenuous on the mana than what I care about. Typhoid Rats could also be good. Actually, I'm going to take the Rats. I think it's kind of what my deck might want a little bit more of. All right, what combat trick do I want? A Necrobite or a Crowd's Favor? I don't really know in this format yet what's better. So my instinct is just go with the super cheap combat trick, especially with Convoke. I think people may not... I mean, it's pre-release still. You know, I'm doing a Swiss draft. I think people just haven't really learned all the tricks. I know I haven't yet, so I'll grab it. Might Makes Right we saw earlier. Don't care about. Would I ever play either of them? I don't think so. If you control each creature on the battlefield with the greatest power, gain control of target creature and opponent. I'll grab it. I can't see myself actually running it. Alright, so there's that proof that blue is really open. Paragon's still hanging around there. Not that it's like one of the greatest Paragons. I actually think the blue and red aren't those like the worst, but still, just like it pumps all your dudes, it can get flying. Here I think it's time to take the clear path. We're never playing Wall of Fire. Void Snare's fine. So again, yeah, blue's around. Oh, another clear path. Maybe I did want to take the Paragon then, just for fun. I do want Evolving Wilds to make this Chieftain good. I don't want to, like, you know, pass up a Lightning Strike for it, but I'm kind of curious. I guess if we end up playing a Lava Axe, we might want another one. Tires Machine is actually okay. Might make the cut. We might want to have it just for some Scrapyard Mongrel synergy. Probably not. This is the, yeah. Still considering our white splash. So our 2 drops, we only have 2 of, and they're dorky, but we have 2 lightning strikes, which is really fantastic. What else do we have? Oh, Triplicate Spirits is pretty cool, but we can't splash it, so I don't think we're grabbing it here. Maybe we're just taking a Cursed Spirit. Chief Engineer, don't care about. Man, there's just like no really strong card here. I mean, I could take another Torch Fiend, just another dorky 2-drop. Our 4s are kind of set, but I think this is a way better 4 than, like, say, the Scrapyard Mongrel. This would be a pack I would take, like, the Evolving Wilds. Maybe I just hate Triplicate Spirits, I don't know. No, that's silly. I'm not going to do that. It could be arguable to take the Rummaging Goblin also. But I'm not too sure if this is the kind of deck that cares about that. I don't know. That's an interesting pick. A Cursed Spirit or Rummaging Goblin. Or do I just say, screw it, I'm over my Ulcerate and Nightfire Giant. I'm taking Turn to Frog, going back to blue. I'm not going to say that. I'm going black. I'm doing it. Wow. This is a really good card. Where's my red? Where's my red? Don't need another Tyrant's Machine. Forge Devil, ugh. I think I would rather just take a Goblin Rough Rider over it. But maybe I do need to start salvaging this. So maybe what I do is go red-green. We go red-green for the Ancient Silverback. And then we splash Swamp for Ulcerate and Nightfire Giant. That I'm liking a little bit more on the pick. May not be the right idea, but I think we're going to give that a go. Because all I'm giving up is another dorky Rough Rider or a Forge Devil in my colors, and Silverback is just that good. So here's an Elvish Mystic to help that out. Really want an Evolving Wilds. Reclamation Stage. Oh yeah, I remember that one now. Meteorite actually seems okay, but really expensive. Again, another dorky 2. I don't really want like a third one of these. I'd rather just take the Mystic and then power out like the Silverback. Yeah. So that is where we're at. Another Lightning Strike is grand. Wouldn't mind some of the other types of burn spells just to kind of adjust. Also, the Generate Servant or Elvish Mystic would be perfectly fine in the deck, but I don't think we can pass up a nice burn dude. And I'm really curious if we are able to grab an Evolving Wilds. So this got interesting. Do I have any... how do I... Here we go. Any random green spells that I had picked up? No, we had passed them all. I just need if I had any more on the sideboard that I cared about. I do not. have any that I care about. Alright, Crust and Soul Artifact, good blue cards. We know it's going to happen. Gotta stay strong. Is Vine Weft actually playable? No, I think we just take a Krenko's Enforcer. It's a pretty good 3-drop with Intimidate, so I'm okay with that. Wouldn't mind some fixing, but whatever. So, Forge ship has sailed. Splashing for Ulcerate and Nightfire Giant, I'm very okay with. Yeah, lots of red, which is good for our Paragon. Achoo! Why, excuse me. Pardon me, fun recording people. Maybe I should be using all our time talking about cards since this is a new set. Little thoughts. Take the Titanic Growth here. We're only at 13 creatures, a little worrisome, especially because one's on the splash, and we're at the end of our pack. But I think that kind of happens. I do have some other options to throw in if I need to. Anyway, Constricting Sliver is the one really good sliver, the white sliver that is basically a removal spell. Divination's fine. Fester Gloom I think is actually really good in the format, and I'll be my second pick here if I wasn't going to be playing Titanic Growth, but at this point I am playing Titanic Growth because I need playables. But Fester Gloom's a good sideboard card of all the X1s running around. Mind Rot, Oppressive Raise, all stuff that kind of does normal things. You're not really excited having your deck, but you'll play them. Oh, hello. There's a lot going on here. Alright. First and foremost, what's this rare do? Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact, if it isn't mana, you may pay one. If you do, copy that ability. All I have is a Tyrant's Machine to go with it. I'm not stoked, but it's a 4/3 for 4, so that's an option. Frenzied Goblin seems kind of cool to get people to bash through, but I think Generator Servant's what I want. I do want a lower curve than another 4-drop that's just a 4/3. I've got some dorks right around there. Generator Servant, though, being able to bust a move into an early Silverback seems pretty good. And again, 2 drops, filling it out. Alright, we didn't get an Evolving Wilds, which is kind of a bummer, but I still think it's going to be worth splashing the black, especially because even though we're doing double green here, we're so base red, we can have a pretty easy mana base. And I do think the Silverback's going to be worth playing for the double green. In that case, I think we're just taking the another 2-drop. It's still not great, but we might be a little bit on the aggressive side now that we have a couple 2s plus our 3 Lightning Strike, so it could work out. I think I already have the Titanic Growth in the crowd's favor that I want over a Ranger's Guile. I know I just have another creature. Torch Fiend, that's actually a good one. Another good 2-drop. I'm not stoked because they're all kind of the dork 2-drops, but I don't really know what the good 2-drops are in red anyway. I haven't really learned that yet. Let's see. Enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Alright, so this seems like a horrible card just because of how expensive it is. Maybe in a synergistic life deck this is fine, but 5 mana for a 2/3 with instant life gain, not happy about. Oh my gosh, stop doing that. Oh, I see. So I keep right-clicking for options when if you just left-click, you kind of get it, right? I think so. Alright, so we do have a main deck I'm surprised about. Would I rather... I already have a Forge Devil, don't I? Oh god, I wish I knew. No, I have a Foundry Street Denizen. So actually, I think I do want to... I can't even see it. I think I'm taking the Forge Devil over the Rummaging Goblin. I just don't think the Goblin's going to be great in this format. I could be really wrong. Rough Rider came back. That's cool. So we actually have... Oh, another Generator Servant? That's sweet. The thing is, do I want the Verdant Haven to help with my mana? I don't think I do. I think I want another Generator Servant, and I think since we're so base red, I don't think we're going to have a problem with our little bit of green and our little bit of black. I'm probably not playing the Elvish Mystic, though, even though it's nice to ramp in. Having 2 Generator Servants is kind of doing what I want anyway. So that'd be sweet. Alright, let me pause while I clean some of this up. Okay, gang, here's the initial build of 23 cards. I do like our nice red creature curves, and I like that we just have these 2 really strong sort of splash creatures here. Most thing I'm concerned about the deck right now is how the mana base is going to work out, which I'll get to in a second, because what's interesting is this double green. I think the Silverback is worth it to make that happen. What I have up here, you'll see, is a lot of good options of how to adjust and tweak the deck. If I need to make things a little more consistent, and I feel like my mana base is kind of screwing me over, I think it's pretty easy to bust a move and put in these 3 black spells. Because these are three like okay spells, and I'm just giving up the power level of Silverback. I don't think Titanic Growth really matters that much. I'm not playing Elvish Mystic because I really am just looking to kind of splash a little bit of green, so it's not going to be insane. And again, having 2 Generator Servants is really nice. True, the Mystic makes it, since it's Forest, a little bit easier to get 2 double green, but I don't think it's worth it to have in the deck just for that. But what I say is like these are actually 3 good spells, and if I want to be super conservative, I could just add a couple more creatures and get rid of the Silverback. But I actually don't need creatures. I'm at 16. I'm already not playing one of my whatever 2 drops, so we're okay. And none of them are like overpowered. Rats might be a good sideboard card. Curse Spirit's fine, but I have Intimidate with my Krenko's Enforcers. I think the Forge Devil is going to be one of the main sideboard cards that I'm looking at against X1, since it's just such a quick, easy kill a dude with 1 toughness. This Denizen could be a deck. I just don't think I'm super aggressive. Yes, I have a pretty decent curve, but I just feel like they're all really dorky curved guys, and I don't think my deck's going to be super synergistic. I could be wrong, though. If you know me, you know that aggression and aggro decks are not like my strength. Clear Path, Lava Axe, and Might Make Rikes I have here. They're also pretty decent sideboard cards to keep in mind. I don't think I'm ever playing Hammerhand, or Wall of Fire. Definitely not Wall of Fire. There. So really, I took out the Marauder because I just needed to cut a creature, it felt, to get down to 23. This seemed to be like, I don't need, that many more 2s. And then, really, I'm just deciding between this Titanic Growth or the Tyrant's Machine. And I'm actually pretty low in the high drop slot for powerful spells. We got a nice low curve, good things to be doing. And I just feel like the Titanic Growth, just having another green card, isn't really what I need. Whereas Tyrant's Machine, if you consider it like a 6-drop, as like a 6-mana removal spell, similar to the Blast Firebolt, which is kind of what I kind of need right up here in the high range, I'm pretty okay with that. Sure, that means I have 4 6-drops if I consider it that way, but with no 5s, I think we're in good shape. I like that quite a bit. Also, a little upside, the Tyrant's Machine is an artifact to play for our Mongrel. Not a big deal, but it gets a little bit, something worth knowing about. So what we care about is playing forests, and we're going to play a swamp for this, but most importantly is we want to make sure we have forests here. Let's get our mana base online, see what we're going to do. Only 1 forest? That seems really ridiculous, considering playing a double forested card here, but that's cute. I think 2 swamps should be good for our 2 guys here. This does seem like an 11 mountain deck with how much red we have, right? So I think this is where I want to be. Is 4 enough for the Silverback, though? I mean, playing double green is really risky. It's not like a great... You don't really normally splash it. The idea was to have a more sort of a basic split. As if I was playing... The idea is to play like basically a red-green deck and then splash for these 2 black cards. So if that's the case, I think I'm going to hedge up a little bit more here. 9 might seem a little bad because I do have these 2 Krenko Enforcers, but they're my only double red early, and I do have the Miner's Bane, and I think I'm choosing to strain my mana for the Silverback. I get that. If I feel like I'm playing in the draft where I need to be a little more consistent, I already had the game plan to pull it out. We'll bring in whatever we want from the sideboard and just shore up the mana a little bit nicer. But I think this should do it for us. And I'm just going greedy to the max, I acknowledge that. It might be better just to take out the Silverback right away. We have 2 nice black spells, but I think this is going to be really fun and really worth it. So that's my mana base. Cool. We'll see how it goes.